Every medium invites a different way of seeing. Video cameras are no exception to that. Whether you notice it or not is besides the point. But different camera angles, different ways of shooting, different shots, things like that, they all portray very different meanings to viewers. Hopefully in this instructional video, you will understand some of the do's and don'ts of shooting with a video camera and how those do's and don'ts affect the meaning perceived by viewers in a shot. Use an establishing shot to set up a new scene. Establishing shots are usually of the place where the action in the next scene will take place. They provide context and background so that viewers can better understand what's about to happen.
Hello?
I have your scarf.
You have my scarf? Use a handheld shot to denote action or convey emotion. Give me that, moron.
Here you go.
Thanks. Oh. Thank you, based God. Yeah, so I capped the scarf. I was one of the first 75 at Pinnacle Bank Arena on the really cold game against Miami. And why are you using a handheld shot to film this? There is no action or emotion being conveyed, and it's probably very distracting to viewers. In fact, you should probably be using a tripod to film a scene like this.
The rule of thirds is when you divide the frame into 3 rows, 3 columns, and 9 sections overall. You always want your subject of the shot at one of the intersection points of the thirds. The human eye naturally gravitates to the intersection points, so compositionally, this is the best thing to do. Here, one of the intersection points is at his eyes. He's also positioned on the left side of the screen with some space in front of him. This is appealing to the eye and gives the appearance he has something to look at. Do not center the subject or have him face the same direction as the side they are placed on. This looks awkward and is distracting to viewers. Change the point of view to mix up shots and change perspective. This keeps things interesting and prevents the viewer from being bored. Different perspectives can also have different meanings. A shot looking up at a subject gives the impression that the person is in a position of power or authority. A shot looking downward gives the appearance of diminutiveness and subordinates. Don't overuse different points of views. While it's important to mix it up a little bit, you don't want to make a viewer nauseous or confuse them by jumping from point to point. Jump cuts. Do not do these ever. Ever. Like, don't even think about it. They're distracting, herky-jerky, and make a shot look uneven and awful. Instead of a jump cut, in shots intended to convey travel, have the subject enter and leave the frame. This shows continuity and gives the viewer the perception that time has elapsed. Long shots are used to showcase the scene and surroundings. The subject or person in the shot is not as important as where they are or what they are doing. The subject is not showcased as much as the setting, which is the dorm room. Medium shots are more intimate than long shots, but they still don't constrain the viewer from only looking at the subject. They allow for the background to come into play. Close-up shots capture a person's face and figure. They force the viewer to pay attention to the person. They also help convey emotion, as you can clearly see here. Don't get too close, or don't cut off the person's head or neck, as this is poor composition and distracts the viewer from the main point of a close-up, which again is to capture emotion and to, force someone to look at the person. Directing the eye is a compositional technique used to showcase something in a subtle way. The item showcased is usually subtle, yet made obvious to viewers based on positioning and framing. When directing the eye, do not make it so blatantly obvious that it loses the desired subtle effect. The subtle effect comes from the depth provided by his head, which leads the viewer to the subject. When you lose the subtlety of the subject, the effect is destroyed.